Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here, eh?
Blue Dragon 5, eh?
And Dragon, I know what we're gonna do today. We're gonna activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right, in honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions, watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories throughout the years. Today's episode is Sidetracked.
How about that?
Oh, but I apologize for any Canadian viewers out there.
That's only Laser Dude.
Yes, but he's more than a viewer, Dragon. He's a contributor to the channel.
Yeah,
But
so
he-
even so, I mean,
but even then, we apologize. Or at least I do.
Sorry, Boot Dad.
Or at least I apologize.
Yeah.
I can't say anything about Dragon.
Well, he's Canadian. He knew the risk.
Yeah, well, I'm apologizing to all of Canada, not just Laser Dude. He's
Canada, we're sorry.
Yes, better than Drac Canada, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, but seriously, Dragon, we're doing a two-parter today called Sidetracked, which is basically a very Perry-centric episode. So, what are your thoughts?
If I don't know about that, I mean, the boys were all over this episode. I was barely Perry in this.
Yeah, I must have been watching a different episode then.
Well, yeah. I mean, what episode did you watch?
I don't know. I watched the one where Perry teams up with a human agent.
So I didn't get that one at all, according to my Disney Plus. According to my Disney Plus episode listing.
Well, yeah, it's the darndest. Well, folks, quick explanation: the darndest thing. You know, we've been doing this for Dragon. We've been doing this for actually over 2 years now, right?
Yeah.
Literally 2 years, and we've been following the order which is on Disney Plus, which is the intended production order.
Mm-hmm.
But, the order that Dan and Swanby and the rest of the crew made the show. For whatever reason, Disney Plus, just like as of like a couple days ago, or shortly after we did the previous episode, changed up to the broadcast order.
Yep, at the latest, like last Saturday, it all changed.
Like for whatever reason, and the thing is, Dragon, you know Disney in the mid 2010s, how they air things. Like sometimes they air things like way out of order, like episodes that 11-minute episodes that were paired with each other were separated and aired months apart. Leading to varying releases and messing the order all up. So we will continue to do it in the intended production order as we have done for the past 2 years. We'll just have to jump all over the place when it comes to the Disney Plus order, unless for whatever reason Disney Plus decides to fix it and put it back to where it was. In other words, put that thing back where it came from. So help me.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yes. I don't get it. We don't understand.
Somehow I blame Canada.
You know, that's a song from South Park, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the song and the movie, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. There's literally a song called "Blame Canada."
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep. It's basically being South Park. It's a satire on blaming other people for your problems and things like that.
Yep. You know what else I have to say to that?
What?
Canadians are weird.
Fun fact: a lot of the guest voice actors in this episode are in fact Canadian.
Well, that would be fitting. Otherwise, it would be very, very disrespectful not to have a Canadian voice in our Canadian-themed episode.
Yes, but let's not get a move on. Aquataddy says not missing Sidetracked for the world. Obviously, we have Aquatad's opinion on this episode. So, Dragon, what are your thoughts on it?
I'm always down for a Perry the Platypus episode.
Oh yeah. And even though a lot of episodes do have a heavy focus on Perry, this is almost one of the few first ones to actually exclusively focus on the Perry plot.
Yeah, there's something a little cinematic about this one.
And you can tell they put some, especially in the opening scene, they put some extra dollars into this one.
Oh yeah. See, I can see the budget department, the accounting department, just going like, "Dan Swampy, you're killing us with this opening. What are you thinking? We're going to be stuck with off-model Phineas for the rest of the season because of this. Missing the eyes."
Oh yeah. But I think it actually worked out in their favor for this one because it definitely feels a lot more cinematic and more epic than the usual episode does.
Yeah.
Like I said, especially the opening.
Oh yeah.
Like the opening where Perry's in Seattle and he's on that awesome motorbike.
So let's just jump right into it. Opening is we have a really cool cinematic opening where we have like the donut truck pursuit.
Yep, where like a group of burglars are stealing some parts and Perry's tracking them down. Like even with like a detective or almost like a detective noir version of his theme song.
Yeah. Again, it's very just kind of whammo blammo. Like we've never really started a Perry adventure like this because he's usually just foiling. Because one, he's in Seattle, so he's encroaching on
Peter the Panda's territory.
Yeah.
Long before he got into the side with Doofenshmirtz. Long before Peter the Panda hooked up, tried to have a little fling with Doof.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh yeah.
But so yeah, the opening was pretty epic and even a pretty interesting car chase.
Yep.
Very well animated too, I gotta admit. It's like
loved it.
What?
Loved it.
Oh yeah. And during the chase, he comes like he's stopped by Perry is stopped by a Canadian agent.
We're not talking the toll booth guy.
The
border guy. We're not talking him.
Yeah, the same thing but in French.
Yep. So we have Agent Lila Lollyberry.
Yes, Lila Lollyberry.
Yes, Lila Lollyberry.
Played by Canadian Samantha Bee.
Yes, I remember Samantha Bee had kind of like a soup-style news show on, I forget if it was E or not, but it might have been Comedy Central. I think it was Comedy Central. She had a, kind of had her own like kind of satire of the news show.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so, point being, she can be funny.
She's done a lot of several other Canadian things, not Canadian, but funny things.
Dan and Swampy have clearly had Canada on the brain because we have an episode or so back we had Baljit saying the disproportionate amount of comedians that come from Canada
and Canadian hams.
Yep, and Canadian ham.
Wait, did you say disproportionate amount of Canadians that came from Canada?
Well, yeah, it's No, a disproportionate number of comedians.
Okay.
I said comedians, yeah.
I thought I heard Canadians.
I mean, that's also true, but Well,
I mean,
there are too many Canadians in Canada, Jacob.
Yeah, I guess so. But here's the funny thing, like, as I was mentioning earlier, like a lot of some of the voice actors in here, like Bee's husband, Samantha's husband, Jason Jones, like Reno Romano and Eric Bauza, they're both from Canada.
I didn't know Reno Romano was Canadian.
Apparently he is. That
means we have a Canadian Batman.
Yep. And a Canadian tuxedo mask too, apparently.
Yeah.
And apparently Caroline Rhee is also Canadian.
Well, there you go. I mean, some of the best things come from Canada. Tom Cavanaugh came from Canada.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he plays a character as pure evil, but still, he came from Canada.
And Canadians aren't evil.
That's what I'm saying. No, he's so. Here's the thing: he's so magnetic and likable, yet he is evil. But it all works out because he's Canadian.
Eobard Thawne is not Canadian, though, right?
Well, I mean, in the future, who knows what happens to Canada? But
I mean, I'm not. Okay, that's not like some. I'm sure some Canadians are evil, but
yeah, well, maybe.
Yes.
At the very least, if they are evil, they're very charmingly evil.
Well, who knows?
That's what I'm saying. Like, Reverse Flash shows up. I'm giddy as a schoolgirl. Like, oh, what's him? He's showing up.
Well, like I said, obviously, Rosenbaum is Canadian, but is Eobard Thawne British? I mean, Canadian.
That's a good question.
But anyway, so
Well, that's the thing. I remember pretty much all the Flash cast, like a large number, they shoot in Vancouver, so a lot of the cast is Canadian. So probably both versions of the Reverse Flash are probably Canadian.
Well, there you go. But what if one of the VAs was from Greenland? I don't think none of them explicitly mentioned are from Greenland. I mean, if anything, if anything, it'd probably be like the language that it had. I mean, but Phineas does make a return.
Well, at least the lower half, at least he's not scaring us, but at least he's not as terrifying this episode because we only show him from the neck down.
Many cartoons come from Canada. How can they be evil?
I think that's what I'm saying. So rarely, we get squirt guns from Canada.
Canadians are weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Canadians brought us weapons of mass destruction. You know what their weapons of mass destruction are?
What?
Turkey basters. Or Canadian squirt guns. Like that's the version of the. See, that's the gun control problem in Canada. It's all squirt guns.
Yeah, that's sure, Dragon.
See, that's the thing. The worst thing is when the ammunition is syrup. It's messy. It gets everywhere. It's terrible.
It's smooth, sticky, and gets everywhere.
Yeah. It's a Canadian Darth Vader's worst nightmare.
Yes. I didn't know there was a Canadian Darth Vader.
Well, there could be, and if there were, I assure you, he would have problem with maple syrup.
I mean, I know there's a Darth Vader that I know his brother runs a convenience store, but there's that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he's Canadian though.
No, I don't think Chad's Canadian.
No. So, if anyone out there's a Canadian Vader, let us know, all right? Or don't. I don't know if you want to keep your identity a secret. I went at Comic-Con once. I saw like a Darth Vader in samurai gear, so there's that.
Yeah.
So there's a Japanese one out there somewhere.
I'm sure there's a coalition of Vaders across the globe somewhere.
Or maybe it's like a multiversal thing.
I mean, it could be.
So I'm sure there's a Canadian one out there somewhere.
I mean, the space is not limited to the States. Canada could have space.
Yes. Yes. But it wouldn't be Star Wars. It'd be just Star Mild Annoyance Conflicts kind of thing.
No, it would be Star Disagreement.
Star Disagreements. Yes.
So it's like, hey, Empire, you should stop that, eh? This is like, okay.
Okay, well, we'll stop for a bit. All right, sorry, folks.
Well, there you go. No Canadian Star Wars. It's Spaceballs.
That's more Jewish Star Wars.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we have a Canadian Vader, the dark helmet.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, folks, we're gonna try and cut the Canadian stereotypes to a minimum.
Yeah, just laser dude.
At least I am, anyway.
No, Canada brought this on themselves for being too awesome.
Yeah.
We're jealous. We're insanely jealous.
In some aspects, yes.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, they have Mounties, Jacob.
I know.
See, their cops are red.
And they have cool hats.
Yeah, like cool hats. They're red. A lot of them have mustaches.
Yep.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the episode.
All right. So Lila Berry,
she seemingly causes the crooks to escape.
Yeah, she stops the pursuit, citing the jurisdictional issue that Perry the Platypus has. She's very she's a member of CALCA, the Canadian organization without a cool acronym.
Yes. Which Monogram is like basically reinforces that, saying you don't have jurisdiction here. Stand down.
And we have Carl pop up in the other little mirror.
It's like, stand down, Carl. Don't interrupt me.
Dang it, Carl.
Dang it, Carl. Wait, hold on.
Dang it, Carl.
Did you hear that one?
Well, I heard the second part of it. Maybe you want to try.
Carl.
There we go. Yeah, so it's just Monogram has like a cool kind of a cool he's like you're a loose cannon kind of a moment there, like kind of like the laying down the law for Perry there, giving him like the darkest hour of the soul kind of out there, like no, you can't pursue him. So how do we? And then Carl just is undercutting it. Which Carl would absolutely undercut Major Monogram? Which Carl would would be cool enough not to interrupt?
Well, we know which one. I know which one would definitely would. One of our usual wells, Carl the Minion, definitely would.
Oh yeah.
Like, and probably Carl Weezer as well. I mean, we always go to those ones, and definitely probably Johnny Bravo as well.
I think Fredrickson would be kind of cool and stoic and would respect the somberness of you clipping Perry's wings there. So I think Carl would restrain himself.
Do you think Sergeant Cosgrove would as well?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, well, no, actually, no, okay. So Mike Cosgrove was hey, cut it out. And then Perry would go home.
he wouldn't just do it without question.
I think he would upstage Monogram, so he would absolutely shove him to the side, and so his mirror get knocked over, and we have a real actor show up there. It's like, hey, cut it out. An actor's so good he doesn't have to act.
Hey, cut it out. And Perry would just go home without even questioning it.
And Ed Asner was just kind of walk in. He wouldn't have to act. Just okay, just say the line. Okay, all right. Hey, cut it out. And he's just like, do I get paid? All right, I'm out of
here. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Now
you can have Spumoni ice cream anytime he wants now.
Beaumont would keep the situation under control. According to Aquitaine.
There you go.
All right, so
it's 2 months later.
2 months later, back in the Perry wakes up, and the boy.
So we kind of frame it from Perry's perspective.
Yep, we don't even see their faces. Like Perry, Phineas gets Perry out of his bed. Ferb just pets him, saying, "Good morning, Perry." Linda also greets him. Candace agrees. Like, if there's nothing there, I'll clean the bathroom.
Well, Candace, you're supposed to clean the bathroom anyway, so is it a deal?
So, I mean, it's not a bad deal for Linda in that case, I guess.
Nope.
Candace really walked into that one.
Meanwhile, let's see, Buford and Baljeet, they're having a discussion about the economy.
It's like, so what you're saying is that it advocates a mixed economy where significant roles are played by both the private sector and the government? Like, no, it's actually yes. Well, Buford has an economist in him.
Well, yeah.
Hey, he's allowed to have his hobbies.
What's the economy of bullying, my friend?
Well, I mean, maybe we can take it to recess. Who knows?
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway. Isabella walks in, greets him too. Literally, those characters, that's the only time these characters appear in this episode.
Yep, and Perry goes down the tree hatch, and we have a gag where the hatch ends up crushing a car.
Yeah, and Barry just sheepishly closes it. He's like, Barry may be a secret agent, but even he's like, I don't want to be responsible for that.
Just ruin that guy's day.
Yeah, maybe Barry doesn't have very good insurance.
Oh, God, no. We know what Monogram's paying him.
Yep. I mean, you've seen what Perry's able to shell out. Perry makes some good money.
I don't know.
Or maybe he just has a big savings account.
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. He's a platypus.
I think a lot of that's just kind of fringe benefits of Alka. I don't think he's really spending that money.
Well, remember, he was able to repay Doofenshmirtz for all of his. He was able to repay Doof for all of his for his door at one time.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right. Well, yeah, I guess so. Okay, fine. Yeah, yes, he's pulled. Then again, he could have side gigs though.
Right. I mean, true.
I don't think Monogram's giving him that money.
And future episodes do kind of show that Perry does get a bit of money.
Okay, I stand corrected then.
It's like, all right. Have another comment. I think, does Alka cover collateral damage?
Well, they're a secret organization, so no.
Yep. Anyway, so yeah.
A lot of widows and orphans who were really ticked off.
Or people with randomly crushed cars.
Yep, like, who's gonna pay for this?
And then the tree's not even still on his car, so it's just a randomly crushed car. So
Yep. Like, what happened? I was in the house for like 5 minutes. I forgot my lunch.
I just come out with my lunch and my car's gone. I don't know why I gave him an accent, but I don't even know what kind of accent that was.
I don't know.
I don't either. But anyway, so what exactly is the situation for today, Dragon?
Well, I'll tell you. Albert the Moose.
Precious Albert the Moose.
Precious Albert the Moose, symbol of Canada, right on the eve of Canada Day.
Yes.
He's on a train. We have this this old we have this gag where Major Monogram has like moose head behind him.
Yeah, but he steps in front of the steps in front of the picture of the moose, and giving him antlers. But even when the picture goes away, the moose antlers remain.
It's a very Steve Martin joke.
And he's like, Carl. Sorry, sir.
Again, just dang it, Carl.
Do you want me to put it up again?
And if you feel like it.
All right. Dang it, Carl. I won't play this. I won't play the clip again, though.
Yeah.
Unless you really want me to.
Well, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. Who would mess with him intentionally with that?
If he had the
Carlos.
case,
Carlos.
I was about to say if he had the means, definitely Carlos.
There you go. I think it's between Carlos and Carl the Minion for who would do it.
Yes. And Carlos would make some kind of pun out of it. We know it.
I don't think Carl Moss would do that because he doesn't care.
Yeah. Carl Weezer probably would too. Maybe. Carl the Robot wouldn't.
I think Carl Weezer do it by accident.
He'd do it by accident somehow.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how that happened. I just made it go away, but the antlers stayed.
Like, Carl, sorry.
And I said Carlos would make a pun.
Yep.
I don't know what the pun would be, but he'd think of something. He's better at puns than I am.
Let's up the antlers.
Carlos. They secretly loved his puns. I want to believe they secretly loved his puns.
Yeah, they did. At least Miss Frizzle did.
Yep. She's the one that never complained.
Yeah.
Foley would do it as well, then try to sell something to get rid of it.
There you go.
I mean, I'm gonna take your guys' word on that one because I've never seen As Told by Ginger.
Well, it's on brand. He's enterprising.
That makes sense. But anyway.
All right, so Precious Albert the Moose is on a train. Train is in the sights of Mr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz. And basically, if anything happens to Albert the Moose on Canada Day, it could lead to a Canadian Civil War,
which is just some disagreements where secession would be an option.
Yeah,
and he has to team up with Agent Lila.
Yeah, which Perry's nonplussed about.
He's still kind of sore over the fact that she botched his mission.
Yeah.
Even though Perry should have known about jurisdiction and all that.
Yeah, well, still, though, he was in pursuit and it started in his side. I think he had a good case for it, but yeah.
Yeah. But then after he leaves, Monogram wants the antlers back. Oh, yeah, I'm rocking this look.
Yeah, what do you think? Does he rock it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay.
I mean, what do you think?
I mean, Lucy has a hat rack.
Dragon.
Not the same.
It's not. I know.
Oh, by the way, Jacob, did you ever watch the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie?
Not the movie.
Okay.
Why is that?
That's just fun.
All right. Literally no connection. I was like, oh, it's fun.
I mean, he's a moose. You know, I think at some point there's an antler gag. Oh, actually, yeah, I know for a fact there's an antler gag.
Okay.
Yeah, well, Fearless, we put antlers behind Robert De Niro in that movie.
Oh, God.
Oh, there's a scene in the Rocky Bull movie where it's super pandery. It's like you feel kind of like De Niro like took that movie because he had like probably had grandkids at that point. It's just like someone um basically he's like saying to Boris and Natasha on the phone, "Are you talking to me? There's no one else around, so you must be talking to me." So it's just really, it's like doing a parody of his own, doing a self parody in like the least interesting way. It's like, oh, poor De Niro.
Well, then I mean, think about it. I mean, yeah, he's made a lot of weird career choices lately. I mean, he's kind of come back around, but
Well, I mean, I don't think as weird as Pacino though. Pacino's had more weird, kind of moments.
yeah.
Yeah, De Niro, I think the weirdest thing De Niro's actually done, aside from Rocky and Bullwinkle, which was probably Dirty Grandpa. I think that, to me, that's his career low.
Yeah, it's not really surprising.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Let me take a sec here, okay?
Yeah.
Here's an underrated De Niro performance that no one ever talks about. Okay, there's this movie he did in like 2017 called The Comedian. And it's in part, they kind of gave him a comedian role because way back, he did King of Comedy, which was the aspiring comedian, which of course then got retrofitted into the Joker movie from 2019. Anyway, my point is De Niro playing a comedian. There's nothing really super special about the movie. It's just De Niro's playing a comedian who's basically kind of like trying to make a comeback. And because he's had like a meltdown of sorts, and he's like he punched. I think the deal was like he punched the guy he punched the heckler, and he's basically doing like a community service thing anyway, which humbles him, and he's doing he's kind of working his way back, and people are starting to love him again. And there's this really, to me, a really profound scene. I love it, where seriously, I can't get over how well. And again, it's the fact is De Niro in a movie like this, which unfortunately, as I think it's solid. I like it. Easily forgettable. No one's ever going to talk about it. But there's this one scene in the movie where he got a gig where he's doing like kind of like a Fear Factor knockoff show. Where it's like you do It's kind of like, imagine if Double Dare were mean spirited. Okay.
Okay.
Essentially, they have this contest where people are put through like like I think it's like called Say Uncle or something. Essentially, you're put in a situation where you know you're going to get into it to a tub with like these like weird like lobster crawfish things. I think it's like a crawfish or whatever. It's like tiny little like mean lobsters or something. And they put him in there, and they establish, okay, so he's like getting the hosting gig of like for like a pilot for this game show. And if you can withstand the pain and not say uncle for like a minute or so, you get all the prize money, right?
All right.
Anyway, so they have this family, and like the father and the family are like off to the side, so the father's playing the game. Anyway, so the father, he gets in like the like the glass little box tub thing, and they pour these these like crawfish mini lobsters in there. Anyway, so it's like established that these things like really bite and they get really mean and everything. And he's this poor guy is like he couldn't last a minute, and it's just he's in agony, and it's a horrible thing that happens to this guy. And he gets out. He basically he says uncle. He feels really bad about it. And there's this beautiful moment where, while it's being filmed in front of kind of a live audience, a studio audience, they put like a robe or like a towel around the guy, and like De Niro is coming to the guy, and he kind of whispers to him, "It's okay, it's okay." And it's this beautiful little moment, and then he basically curses out like the producers of the show, like live on the thing, saying, "This isn't funny. This is effing stupid." And he's like, the mic drops and gets out of it. But still, just that little tender moment to me is just like, that's the caliber of actor De Niro is, where he brought so much comfort and layer and just discomfort at this poor family man, like desperately apologizing to his family for failing him, and just feeling like I don't know, it's just a really great vulnerable little moment in that film.
All right.
Yeah. No one cares. We're just gonna move on.
Awkward Dad mentions the Dunkachino.
Yeah, Dunkachino was not Al Pacino's shining moment.
What? I don't even know what that is.
Oh yeah, that's from so Jack and Jill.
Okay.
And Jack and Jill, Al Pacino was in that movie, probably essentially as like a favor. Well, Pacino was he was really hurting for cash for a while, so essentially he took the gig. And basically, there's a scene where he's like he's a character in the movie playing himself, and then he does like this like the Adam Sandler character is like an advertiser, and he basically, long story short, Al Pacino is infatuated with the Jill, the female Adam Sandler character.
I know about how that goes.
Anyways, the point being, it's like the sister's gonna woo him, so he'll do the stupid Dunkin' Donuts promotional ad, and by the end, I think it's like during the credits or by the end of the movie, we see like him doing the Dunkachino, doing like the Dunkachino ad, and he's wearing like this vest with donuts on it. It looks really, I love the way he looks in that.
I mean, wasn't that a thing outside of the movie though?
I don't think so. I think it's in the movie.
I said, wasn't Dunkachino a real thing?
Oh, do you mean like the product? Was like the product a real thing?
Yes.
I don't know. I have no idea, honestly. Man, I want to say maybe it could have been a tie-in for the movie. Maybe, but I don't know.
All right, but I mean, it says it was like discontinued in 2023, and apparently it started in 2000. So.
All right, well there you go. It was a real thing. I had no idea.
I mean, it just might have been tied to Al Pacino, but
yeah, that's the thing. That was just the thing. Is I guess they kind of like linked it there. But you're right.
All right. So anyway, back to the episode at hand.
Yeah.
Perry meets Lila on top of the train. Like, Agent P, we meet again. And all the while, Perry's like being like I work alone kind of thing. Like he's a real loner, except when he's an agent.
He's justifiably cranky. She's like like pinches little cheeks and everything.
Oh yeah.
All right, so the train is half Canadian and half American.
Yep, and Doofenshmirtz is on the Canadian side, and it's like one of the most brilliant traps he's ever come up with.
The societal convention trap.
Yes, you're trapped by societal convention.
So they're in the dining car, and the idea is like basically our title imagery. They're in the dining car, and no one can make a scene in a dining car.
A fine dining car.
A fine dining car. Everyone's just having a nice meal. It's like, okay, well, they can't tackle him or attack him from across the table right now.
Yep. So he begins to explain his plan while also like trying to sneak his French fries.
Yeah, Lullaberries just keeps going for the fries, which to me just cracked me up. Just Doofenshmirtz like, hey, no, just the waiter's over there. Order something from him.
It's like, yeah, I mean that is a true. I mean that is something that would really make anybody mad. Just like someone stealing your fries.
Oh yeah.
And he's explaining basically the plan he took control of the plane and is planning to take Precious Albert the Moose and ruin Canada Day.
And it's all part of the evil scheme exchange program.
Yep. Which is a funny idea.
Yeah, so Doofenshmirtz is basically the train conductor. He's got like a little device to do so.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Lila keeps taking his fries, trying to. It's like, hey, seriously, leave them alone.
It's all part of the plan to irritate Doofenshmirtz into making a scene and breaking the convention trap, the societal convention trap.
Like one of the several reasons that's why this episode is one of my favorites. Like
yeah.
I remember when we mentioned this last week that Awkward Dad was looking forward to this one. Remember?
Yep.
Like near at the end when I mentioned that it was going to be this one, he's like, Sidetracked, yes. Like I think he said that like as we were signing off, so I didn't get to highlight it, but so there you go, Awkward Dad. But yeah, so it's like, quit touching my lunch. And then that causes get your own lunch. And that causes everyone to have a scene. So
it's like the friendlier version of that scene from an extremely goofy movie. Get your own life. Get your own lunch.
Yeah. Leave me alone and get your own life.
Only this time, lunch.
Yep. That's causing. It causes a scene, basically springing the societal convention trap.
Yep.
I just love the idea of like the idea of being trapped by social norms. Unfortunately, there's no norm in this episode.
Did somebody say my name?
Norm!
Da-da-da.
Unfortunately, there is no norm in this episode.
Nope.
No. There is a next week's episode, though.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. I think so. Anyway. Yep. Yep. Next week's episode, there is, in fact, Norm. Well, at least John Wiener's in it. John Wiener's in it, or Viner.
You mean Norm's not in the next one?
Not. Well, at least he's credited. I think he might be voicing a different character, though.
Okay. Anyway.
But so Norm's actor is in the next episode anyway.
All right, so we have a fight break out, and down like basically almost like kind of an old sitcom thing. Like we have, well, not a sitcom thing, literally like like the New Mexico Four Corners. Like we have like the border like right down the middle.
Yes, I like Doofenshmirtz taking advantage of the fact like moving his head between the countries.
Yep, during the fight.
Yep, the tied train conductor. Trip's like, you did that on purpose. And he escapes through the bathroom.
I love the bathroom break mid-fight, and Lolly Berry's like very respectful, like, "Oh, okay, sorry about that."
Like, and the thing's like, "Oh, come on, he left the seat up." Yeah, priorities, right, Dragon?
Yep.
And he was like, when he gets up, there's like, you knew he'd end up here eventually, right? Like, yeah, like if you're having a scene that has a train, you're eventually gonna end up on top of the train.
Oh yeah.
So they get knocked away and land on a handcar. So which is an extended metaphor about them working together.
I gotta admit, this to me was the weak link of the episode. The old timey handcar is one thing, but doing I think the song was padding.
Yeah, I usually skip past this part when I rewatch the episode.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway.
Oh, so we have the businessman gag. Tell me about the businessman gag.
Oh, I love the businessman gag where the guy was talking to Doom. Was like, "Hey, it hasn't stopped any of the scheduled stops." Like, "Oh, I'm sorry. What's your next one? What's your stop? The next one." Even Aquatat agrees with us about the song. I mean, it's meant to be can sing, but it wasn't really had that good material to work with.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like, oh, is that a fact? Oh, don't be said right this way. So it's like he pulls in the emergency exit door, just a regular. Like, oh, like the wife cooking dinner tonight. Asparagus. Dragon, have you ever had asparagus tips?
No, I haven't.
Do they sound good to you?
I'm not an asparagus guy, but I mean, just the fact that it's like tips. I mean, that sounds kind of cool.
All right. What's the entree? Nova Scotia salmon.
Now that sounds nice.
I mean, I'm not really a fish guy, but
I'm not a fish guy either. But it's the fact that it's Nova Scotian.
Oh yeah. It's like, well, here's your station. Say hi to your wife for me. He literally kicks him off of the train.
There's a lazy who gets home every day.
It was like he's kicked off a train and then tumbles home.
Yep, and the only difference is like a kid in a high chair. It's like, Daddy.
Like the man, like he tumbles across the field, like he goes up and down a slide, and then rolls into his house and into the chair.
See, if Laser Dude applied himself and was punctual, that's how he would enter every day after a hard day's work.
It's like, well, someone's home early. The conductor says hi.
God, such a good. It's a very Family Guy joke, and I love it.
Well, there's a lot of Family Guy alumni on this show.
Oh yeah. All right, let's see. So, I love the fact we have the Doofenshmirtz jingle on the phone.
Like, oh look, there's a new platypus video online that's trending. Apparently, he follows platypus videos online.
Well, yeah.
And you have to wonder, like, you had people posting about Perry the Platypus online.
Yeah, there's an inherent flaw in that one.
Yep. Who knows? Maybe Alka erased the video from the internet.
Maybe.
But we don't know.
Anyway, so then he goes to the observation deck, which is pretty much just a bunch of chairs nailed to the roof of the train, which again seems like a bad idea.
And a guy's just sitting on it.
Yep. So we have the tunnel. The tunnel breaks the remote. It's a runaway train now. Doofenshmirtz is now on the team to stop the train.
Yep. Meanwhile, back in Danville. Hey, where's Perry? Yep, that's it. So yeah, like Doofenshmirtz was just stupidly holding up the control. Like, not as long as this thing, I'm in control. And he breaks.
Yep. Breaks. They're in darkness. Like, okay, that's not good.
Like, the funny thing is, that kind of reminds me of a scene from the beginning of the movie Top Secret. Have you seen them? You've seen that movie, right, Dragon?
I think so.
It's the movie the Zucker Abrams and Zucker made after Airplane. Oh, where Val Kilmer plays a musician recruited to be a spy.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's like a espionage movie crossed with an Elvis musical.
Oh god.
And it's hilarious.
Just remember Spy Hard though.
No, trust me, it's much better than Spy Hard.
Yeah, I know, not the opening of Spy Hard though.
Well, no, I mean, because that has Weird Al Yankovic.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The Weird Al, he has a high note. Has a head-shattering high note.
Yeah, and he actually held that note, funnily enough.
Well, yeah, and it killed him.
It's like
he's fine because he's a zombie, but they did kill him temporarily.
Well, that's why he's able to survive, Dragon.
I know, yeah.
They just reassembled his brain. I was like, yeah, he's fine.
Just saying, like, okay, I can hit this high note, but I can only do it once. Once? What do you mean? Oh, you'll see.
Well, the thing is, technically, the original plan, remember, was to just hold, digitally alter the notes, so it held. But Weird Al discovered that he could actually hold it.
Yep, like a big boy.
Yes, but there's a scene that there's a side gag. There's a gag at the beginning of a Top Secret where the two characters are fighting on top of a train, and the classic scene where they're fighting on top of the train, and one of the one character gets down because the bridge is coming, and the other one smacks into it.
You know what this reminded me of too?
Well, I'm not done with my.
Oh, right. Sorry, go on.
The one character gets down, and the other one smacks into the bridge and dies, and all that. You know how that usually goes.
Yeah.
Instead of that, the guy breaks crashes through the bridge, and he's still standing, and it's completely fine.
Oh, that's great.
it's hilarious. I think it's on Paramount Plus, actually, if you have it.
Huh.
It's actually really funny. I wouldn't claim it's as good as Airplane, but it's definitely very funny.
Nice.
But now, as you were saying,
it reminds me of a lot of this. This kind of reminded me of the scene from the Wolverine where they had the fight on top of the bullet train.
I mean, yeah, that's probably more epic.
But yours is better because it's comedy based. I'm just saying that was what my go-to was.
Yeah. Let me see. Top Secret. No, unfortunately it actually isn't on Paramount Plus.
Well, color me shocked.
But I would say if you find a way to watch it, definitely watch it because it's hilarious. It even ends with an underwater bar brawl.
Oh.
Literally, there's an underwater bar fight.
Well, that's interesting.
Yes. I'm not going to give much more hints at it than that, but trust me, you have no idea what you're getting into when you see that movie. It's hilarious.
Okay.
Like I said, it's literally Val Kilmer plays this American musician in Cold War Germany, and he's recruited by a group of spies. Gets involved in a group of spies. Again, it's very strange, including let's say there's cows that's a cow wearing. That's people who disguise themselves as a cow, which then becomes a real cow wearing boots. Yes, I'm not making this stuff up.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say any more than that because it'd be incredibly hard to explain.
All right.
And it's not Canadian, so it doesn't have anything to do with the rest of this episode anyway. But yeah, it just reminded me of that for some reason.
All right.
So yeah. So what happens next, Dragon? Then enough people have probably heard enough of me talking, so I'm going to do my Gromit impression while you talk.
All right, let's see. So, anyway, so Doofenshmirtz, he's, he making it like, really? You couldn't hand me some paper towels?
Yeah, be like some idiot left the seat up. Like, not realizing that he's the idiot that left the seat up.
Yep.
And
Anyway,
course,
so we have this gag, the whole "no need to panic" gag, where she's like, okay, we gotta get everyone to the caboose, to the caboose of the trains. She's like, okay, let's do an orderly fashion. Okay, everyone, there's no need to panic, and they all like, ah!
And of course, Prince Albert, not Prince Albert, but Prince Albert something.
Wait, was he in the can?
Well, you better let him out.
Yeah.
No, precious Albert. He has the back caboose, which is like this ornately designed cart, and it's awesome. He even has special tea.
Yeah.
Which
nothing better than a Canadian caboose, my friend.
He's a Canadian caboose with a Canadian moose.
Yeah.
It's a moose in a caboose.
Yep.
I don't know any words that rhyme with that would fit within this context.
Who just had amorce bouche?
You mean a moose bouche?
I don't know. I think I might have. I thought I said it right, but
it's like a muse bouche.
Yeah, amorce bouche or something.
It's a moose bouche or a muse bouche.
Anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, like everyone's safe. Everyone's safe in the caboose, or so they think.
Yep. So basically, at a left field, Professor Banister shows up, and he's using like a giant like mechanical arm to basically airlift the caboose. He's pinching the caboose, Jacob.
Yes.
And the train slapped him. No, I'm kidding. But
so now I'm Dragon. I'm sure you recognize the voice of Banister.
Yes, I did, Jacob.
Good. Tell the fine folks who voiced Banister.
It is the wonderful Kevin McDonald, aka Pleakley from Lilo and Stitch.
Yes, and also the science teacher from Sky High.
And
the
tall one, one of the tall ones from Invader Zim,
he's tallest purple.
Yep, he's the purple one, and beyond that, you got stuff like he's all over. I mean, Cat Scratch, he was Waffles.
The Kids in the Hall.
Yep.
I think that's where he became famous.
Yep, but still, no role's ever gonna touch Pleakley though.
No, of course not. But I'm surprised you remembered Zim, considering you famously not really a big fan of Zim.
I mean, here's the thing, I watched through all of Invader Zim. I don't really go back to it often, but
I'm kind of I remember you not really caring for it, so I'm
kind of. That's true. That's still true. I mean, it still doesn't mean I didn't watch it though.
All right, fair enough then.
Yep. I also remember the ones that traumatized me, but
Well, yeah. Then Dragon. The funny thing is, like Jordan Vasquez, the creator of the show, was known for a a self-published comic book known as Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. It's a Nickelodeon executive found it, and I was like, "Hey, you know that guy who made this book about a murderous psychopath? Let's get him to make a show for us." But he did it, and he's still willing to work on it.
Yeah.
So, and it worked out well.
It did.
But yeah, Kevin McDonald. His only appearance in this show, but I think he makes it a memorable appearance nonetheless.
Well, he does. He's a seemingly Canadian villain whose big reveal isn't Canadian.
He's Greenland. Greenlandish. I don't know what the proper. He's a Greenland.
He's not from Canada. He's from Greenland.
You can have Greenland. That's a lot of land.
Of course. Now, the first thing that came to mind, I'm sure it came to your mind as well.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of Shigo wanting Iceland.
That's literally what I just mentioned, Dragons. Remember Greenland? That's a lot of land.
All right. See, I'm sorry, James. Just when I think of that scene, I keep thinking of you want the one that's green? Iceland, the one that's green?
I want Iceland, the green one. Yep.
Sorry, that's always my go-to, like the latter half of that line.
I know, it's like, I want Iceland, the green one.
It's so funny is the fact that Shio likes green things and the whole weird reversal of Iceland and Greenland.
And the fact that she doesn't want to deal with all the snow and stuff.
Yeah.
She'd take less land for less snow.
Yes.
So in other words, she's a smart woman.
Well, yeah.
Dragon, I mean, have you seen the weather outside recently? I like the snow, but I'm kind of going along with Shigo on this one.
I'm living in the snowy climate, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, so am I.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The other day was
Jacob, it snowed in Florida.
Yep, I know, Dragon.
Hasn't snowed in Florida over 30 years.
Dragon, it was literally -10 degrees here the other day.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm kind of with Shigo here.
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure like Greenland and like people in Alaska, they deal with that kind of weather constantly, but I mean, especially like upper Greenland and Alaska, and even some parts of Canada.
Yeah.
To tie it back to theme.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's not actually Banister's not Canadian. He's from Greenland.
Yep.
Also not Finland.
Nope. He also looks like Carrot Top.
Sorry, what was that?
He also has hair like Carrot Top.
Yeah, is Carrot Top Canadian?
Honestly, I mean, it feels like he is, but I don't know.
I'm not sure. Anyway. Finally, doing the Patrick voice guy, doing the Patrick yell hurt my throat a little bit.
Well, yeah, there you go.
Finland! There we go.
Did it again.
I did it better that time, though.
There you go.
My throat was more prepared.
Yep. Still not as good as your Grommet.
No, but I do a pretty decent Patrick.
You do that too well, Jacob.
Thank you. Anyway. It's better when I'm not trying to yell. Like I can do Patrick's normal speaking voice, all right, but it's not as yelling.
Yep, regale him with the tale of the ugliest barnacle.
It's called the Ugly Barnacle. Once there was an ugly barnacle. He was so ugly that everyone died. The end. That didn't help at all. So, Dragon, what do you think of the Ugly Barnacle?
Well, it's a happy story.
Yeah, everyone died. The end.
Yep.
Oh, God.
All right.
So, yeah. Dragon, you don't know how hard that story was to memorize.
Well, Jacob, it is a classic.
I know, but it's a very hard story to memorize.
I think some would call it the War and Peace of the 90s. Well, technically the early 2000s, but still.
Yeah. It's quite an uplifting story about self-discovery.
Well, yeah. I mean, Jacob, there's a lot to decompress there. There's the beginning of the barnacle story. And
where he's ugly and then he goes to meet people and they die.
He didn't know he was ugly though. Okay, that was the self-discovery. It's like, I am so ugly, it is lethal to people. Like that. That's an ugly barnacle, my friend.
Now the question is, if the ugly barnacle looked at his reflection, would the barnacle die?
No, just on the inside.
So he's immune to his own powers.
Yes.
All right, I can live with this. I can live with this lore.
Yeah.
But anyway,
or maybe that's how the story ends. Maybe he's not immune. Maybe like the last, it's like Ozymandias, King of Kings. I've conquered the world. It's like, I don't know why everyone's dying of offense, at my visage. I'm gonna look in the mirror. I will surely die in the process. Like, oh God, why? Dead. And they all died. The end.
That didn't help at all.
Yep. Anyway, so the heist from earlier was to build magnetic robots.
Yep. So what exactly is Albert's plan? Not Albert's plan. Banister's plan.
Well, Albert's plan is to drink tea on the train, but
Yes.
yes, basically, Professor Banister, which I got to be honest, is a name that it just feels like it's smart to me, and I really love that.
Yep.
Anyway, so Professor Banister, his plan is to kidnap Albert the Moose, destroy Canadians' pride on Canada Day, and then basically in kidnapping the moose, he'll bring it to his true home, his true native home of Greenland,
which he thinks is boring and doesn't really want anything to do with.
Greenland is the lazy man's Canadian knockoff, and he's sick of it. He wants actual pride for Greenland. He wants to make Greenland, very colorful again.
And he wants to basically annex Canada for Greenland.
Yeah.
As Doofenshmirtz points out, there's a lot of flaws in his plan.
Absolutely, and that's Doofenshmirtz calling those out.
Yeah, it's like, several international laws that are very big flaws in his plan.
I love the bit where he's like, well, how did my plan go? Just flip the switch, and without the monologuing, it actually goes off pretty well.
They don't have time for a backstory. Well, that was more of an expositional flashback, not a backstory.
That I love. I love him. That's what I'm saying. I love him correcting the agent on that one.
It's like Agent Lila.
Well, yeah, I know. I like him correcting Lila on that one.
Well, I mean, he can't really correct Perry because Perry doesn't talk. That we hear anyway.
So that's the other thing too. Structurally, here, a big reason we have to pair with someone is he's going to take. I think there is some fear that if we give him the whole episode, we need that. He needs to be buddied up with somebody so we can have them do all the talking. Because we've seen him pair up with Doofenshmirtz for an episode, but here we gotta.
I mean, there's another big episode where he's really tied up to Doofenshmirtz.
Yeah.
So that episode's coming up down the line.
Nice.
Yep.
But you see what I mean? It's kind of like it's kind of the whole why is there a Robin kind of a question where we need someone to bounce dialogue off Batman. So it's kind of like
when we don't want him to be brooding and just thinking to himself.
Yeah.
Which is also good for Batman sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes Batman just needs to be just alone with his thoughts. Just staring silently out in the city with his cape blowing in the wind.
Yeah. Sometimes we need a plucky sidekick saying, "Don't call him Batman for nothing."
Like, put in the battery. What's a Terry? I know that's not an actual Batman joke, but
yeah,
it's still funny regardless. I don't.
Okay.
Hey, Dragon, we've definitely reached our Batman quota for this episode, and also Freakazoid. We've also mentioned Freakazoid, so we're kind of on track.
Yeah, no, we are.
The drinking game, but folks with the drinking game out there, I hope you're getting your fill of non-alcoholic beverages.
Non-alcoholic Canadian beverages.
Are there any non-alcoholic Canadian beverages you're aware of, Dragon?
Maple syrup.
That's not really a beverage. That's more.
Well, I think the Canadians just drink it like a beverage. It's like Elf, they're just drinking the maple syrup straight up.
Ugh. I mean, I like maple syrup, but not that much.
You're not a true Canadian, sir.
Well, duh.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, my state is kind of on the border of Canada, but
come on! Don't embarrass yourself saying we're on the border of Canada.
I mean, literally, Dragon, Ohio, like, shit, like, there's only Lake Erie between Ohio and Canada.
Well, there's an Erie fact for you, kids. Yep.
I mean, granted, I'm not as close as like some other states, but technically we are pretty close. just ride a boat from Lake Erie, and you can get to Canada. But the funny thing is, though, some people at work have like mistaken my voice for being. Are you from Canada?
You say them Canadians are weird.
I've actually, like Uncle Ted said, he's never tried drinking maple syrup. Neither have I. But Dragon, like literally, some people have asked if I was Canadian. I've also grew out my beard once, and people asked if I was Amish.
Well, they asked you if you're Amish because of the beard.
Well, I know, but just because I have a beard doesn't mean I'm Amish.
It doesn't mean you're not Amish.
Yeah, I know, but still. And it happened more than once.
Wait, let me ask you this. Were you wearing a black hat when they asked you that?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Well, I don't know what to tell you then. Maybe you have a very Amish-looking face.
I don't know, Dragon. When I grow my beard out, it grows thick.
Were you putting up a house?
No.
Were you doing anything non-technological?
No. I was running a. Technically, I mean, Dragon. If you've seen World According to Jeff Goldblum, which is sadly no longer on Disney Plus. Remember, they had Amish people building high-tech RVs.
Oh, right. Man, that's weird.
I mean, just because of the stereotype we have. It's because of the stereotypes.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, in other words, bring back World According to Jeff Goldblum.
Well, that's true.
So anyway, then we get into the helicopter fight. which is, maybe make a joke. They make
It's an improvement over the hand truck.
The hand
cart. Sorry, hand cart.
Yeah, because it talks about, like, ambiguously about, like, if it's like a helicopter fighting within a helicopter or two helicopters fighting each other.
I love, like, the old-timey Cuphead looking this kind of fight that's going on between the helicopters.
Like the Fleischer style.
There you go.
Yeah, and the song's like, that actually wasn't that exciting.
Nope. I love that they had the goons from earlier playing cards at Doofenshmirtz.
And he's like, and then when he wins, they get into a fight with him too.
Hey Jacob, do you know what time it is?
I think I do, Dragon. It's
Great Reboot time! So, fun fact, folks, card games can be notoriously violent, and historically have been, not just in the Old West, but even in the 1920s, and many died in horrific card fight and gambling deaths. No joke, seriously. You would have, like, people getting stabbed during card games. Basically people being sore losers, or, like, accusing the other one of cheating, or, being in debt, or what have you. So Doofenshmirtz here, winning. This fight escalates, and Doofenshmirtz either stabs or gets stabbed in this altercation. Yeah.
Now we can't have Doof getting stabbed now, can we?
Nope, can't do that.
Cuphead was mentioned. I am happy. Dragon, have you actually played Cuphead?
No.
It's very hard.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't expect that.
Oh, yeah. Mainly because of the RNG.
Okay.
But so, any more to add to the reboot?
I mean, no. I think it's a very shocking death for Doofenshmirtz. Kind of stabbed and potentially killed during a card game during a helicopter battle.
Yeah, well, it's not two helicopters battling each other. It's just a battle within a helicopter.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of new songs, what do you think of the new Greenland national anthem?
I don't know. Could use a little work.
Yep. Fun fact: Kevin McDonald actually co-wrote it.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yep. And let's just say Greenland. Let's just say their regular national anthem is much better. It would probably be much better than what he came up with. And I'm not going to try and pronounce the name of the national anthem, but I'm going to post its name in the comments, and you can actually read what it's called. Yeah, this is the name. This is the national anthem for Greenland.
Wow, that is a mouthful.
Yeah, it's Greenlandic, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try and pronounce that because I know I'll definitely butcher it. It's like so seemingly Banister escapes, but is captured by Peter the Panda. What do you make of that?
Well, again, he's out of his jurisdiction, but Greenland.
Yeah.
It's a character in Greenland. Yeah, it's a character from Greenland, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, if he's not Canadian, so
Yeah, so he's not going after. It's not he has diplomatic immunity or anything.
so Hammer he can't sue.
Yeah. So the day is saved, but they're in Canada, so they're going to take in the sights.
To Niagara Falls. Slowly
I turn, step by step, inch by inch.
Classic vaudeville routine.
Oh yeah, my grandfather, he loved Niagara Falls.
The actual falls or the routine?
Mostly the routine, but he had been to Niagara Falls at least once.
And I've been to the Canadian side of Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
They light it up at night. It's actually very pretty.
Well, yeah, as we see here.
Yeah, but Dragon, where did you first hear the Niagara Falls skit?
Well, I tell you, when I grew up, when I was a kid, my grandfather would do the Niagara Falls routine. Then eventually, I'd see the Abbott and Costello version of it.
Well, because you see, the one I always remember is the Three Stooges one. Because remember they did it too in one of their shorts.
Well, yeah, it was an old vaudeville routine, so many people used it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Lou Costello he was like in a jail cell just with someone who kept threatening him with the whole every time you mean Niagara Falls? Niagara Falls. Slowly I turn. So when I was a kid, my grandfather would do it like to scare me, kind of like a thing. It's in a funny way.
Niagara Falls.
He would play it like at that point he had actually been to Niagara Falls.
Slowly we turn.
Step by
step.
Inch by inch.
Anyway, so everyone say Prince Albert the Moose. I keep calling it Prince Albert.
I think you have special feelings towards this moose, Jacob. I think you think he's Bullwinkle.
Okay, Precious Albert the Moose, which honestly isn't much
better.
Precious
Albert the Moose,
which isn't much better than Prince, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it's not.
So it's like, so he's saved everyone in Canada's having a great time. Doof wants to go see Niagara Falls, and like Perry and Lila patch things up, and they're now friends.
Yeah.
And Doof wants to see Niagara Falls.
It's a nice little nod to the Ocean's movies, which
you can actually see the people from Ocean's 11 doing it like at the falls in silhouette. This is a nice touch. So, Dragon, I haven't actually seen Ocean's 11. Does Claire de Lune actually play the Bellagio scene?
I gotta be honest. I'm more familiar with the original one with Sinatra.
Not the remake.
I've seen the remake once, but I didn't really go back to it. I kind of remember the Sinatra one a little better, like when they have like the song EO11.
All right.
But it's I believe that scene is. I think they're listening to Claire de Lune. I think.
Because I wouldn't. Because you're right. Because I mean, I love the music. I love the Claire de Lune music. It's one of my favorite pieces.
I love it too.
Like it's like one of my favorite. I don't know if it counts as like classical music.
No, it's classical enough.
Yeah, but it was considered for use in Fantasia.
Well, yeah, they should have.
And I think it eventually got used in like Make Mine Music or Melody Time or something like that. But
it made it into Wallace and Gromit.
Which one?
Curse of the Were-Rabbit.
All right.
Well, actually, you know what? Sorry, it's the.
Wait.
Not Claire de Lune, it's the Planet Suite.
Oh yeah, because I was like, wait, Claire de Lune wasn't in Curse.
Yeah, I know, but it's close though.
I mean, that's another good piece of music.
They're very close though, admittedly.
Yeah, like several bombastic pieces about planets, and the other one a soft, slow piano piece.
Yep. But so I have to pick though. I mean, I'm probably picking Claire de Lune. It's rather flawless.
I mean, it's a beautiful piece of piano music.
Yep.
And again, if you're looking for like the the Disney, the old Disney one. I think it's called like the Blue Bayou or something like that, or something along those lines about the herons. I think it's either in Melody Time or Make My Music, something in one of the package movie films.
Right.
Originally planned for Fantasia, but wasn't used. But it's one of my favorite pieces of music, at least classical piano music, anyway.
Right.
But yeah, like Aquatep points out, the Niagara Falls scene is probably one of my top 5 favorite scenes in the entire show. I mean, it's a very nice scene, actually. It's like it's not really played for comedic value or anything like that. It's just characters just watching a waterfall.
Yep, they all drift off one by one.
Yep, without saying a word.
Yeah.
So, it's a surprisingly poignant scene if you think about it.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah, and very beautiful, like a very beautiful scene of seeing Niagara Falls at night. And I've actually seen Niagara Falls at night. Niagara Falls at night is gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
They project lights into the falls. It's great. So Doofenshmirtz music. I wonder how my scheme worked out for Banister. That cloud magnetizer knitter was a winner. So we shift back to the backyard. We even see Candace give Perry a little pet, which is cute. Which is cute. She's like, "Hey, Perry." And apparently, the metallic superstructure that Phineas and Ferb built got carried away by a cloud.
Yeah.
And then you know what that means, Dragon.
Candace has to clean the bathroom.
Yep, which she apparently had to do anyway.
Yep, and then we end on the boys hugging the platypus.
And everyone else gets pie.
Yep.
not community, not over burnt pie like we got a couple weeks ago, but hopefully actual well-made pie.
Yeah.
And so how does Dragon? We actually for the first time in a while actually get a new outro. Where Monogram explains about poking fun at Greenland.
Yep, we have kind of the after school special moment where Monogram says, "Yeah, we had a lot of fun at Greenland's expense. I think we should we should set the record straight. Greenland does have national pride."
Yep. And they're not necessarily short, all period interests of comedy and not to be taken seriously. Go Greenland. So, in other words, dang it, Dan and Swampy.
Yep.
I don't have a banner for that, but we'll just have to live with that.
Yep.
So Dragon, so basically they were doing it to themselves. Right, Dragon?
Pretty much, yeah.
They were doing it to themselves. So we don't even have to do it. We don't have to do it this week unless he has something to say.
No, I think we got it.
Yep, they took care of it this time.
Yep.
They probably didn't want some random people on the internet going, Dan, Swampy.
Boy, they have better things to do with their lives, Jacob. I mean, come on. I mean, they're working on a revival right now.
Yep, it's coming sometime this year.
Yep.
So who knows how it's gonna go. But anyway, so Dragon, final thoughts on the episode. I think we had a good week this week.
Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. Yeah.
I would probably say according probably definite step up from last week's episode. You'd probably.
Oh, absolutely, yes.
You didn't really like last week's episodes at all.
I was not thrilled, no.
At least with the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely, Canada's definitely a step up from bees. We can agree with that.
Yeah.
So, funny enough, as we mentioned, there is a bee in this episode.
Yep, Samantha Bee.
Yep. So can't escape the bees, can we, Dragon?
No, not the bees.
Oh no, not the bees. Anyway, so thank you. Little Blue. Now we have a comment from Little Blue saying cut Dan and Swampy some slack still. Lol. LOL. No, Dragon. No, Little Blue. They brought that on themselves. right, Dragon?
They did, literally.
Yep. Like I said, they didn't have that. That means they're learning, right, Dragon?
They are.
They're learning. Retroactively, they're learning.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you, now Little Blue, and also Aquatad for joining us. And as I mentioned earlier, we're gonna go by the production order instead of this. And like, I don't know if you guys are also experiencing issues with the Disney Plus randomly switching orders, but Dragon on our end, we are. So join us next week when the boys tie themselves up in licorice. Good night, everybody. Oh, Canada. We apologize.